Pekal, तुम्हारा मेरे के चंगा लग गया मेरा नाम क्रिस तुम्हारा नाम की है वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की fateh. Hi everybody, new name here, playing his favorite game, Watcher of Realms, and that's a special greeting for any Punjabi visitors to the channel. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to successfully clear Gear Raid 1, Stage 19, without the power of dominance, and with a lineup that you're probably going to know. Why would I use that? And the reason is that it might be the only lineup that you have available for yourself, or some kind of rendition of. We're going to go into the stage 19 with the power dominance off. We'll go into the guides. We'll see if what I just did before I started recording is still up here. So I've brought one Lord bonus, and everybody gets a Wrath. Everybody can free to play fuse Abomination. Everybody can storyline free fuse essentially Volca. Everybody gets a Greed. Everybody gets a Mari. Vortex, would hope that you have at least one copy, if not two of them, with your Abomination by the time you're ready to tackle Gear Raid 1 Stage 19. I took over 1,000 summons to pull a Dolores, unfortunately. However, since I have her, you might as well. Most people usually get the popular epics, okay? It seems very easy, a lot of people saying they have a Dolores. I have other guides without a Dolores using Narvi if you don't have this hero. And then Laurel. This time, though, Laurel's not going to be cycled in and out via Voca Polka. She's going to stay in the mix the whole time. Here we go. And I'll show you the gear after. This is a really fun fight after you understand what is required to achieve success. You'll be like, well, why didn't you bring other heroes? Or I'm just showing you that you can sub in any two roles that you want here because you can take Laurel and not put her in whatsoever, like sub her in and out. So it leaves you free to cycle her with some kind of another unit if you want. Okay, you can even bring a Lord bonus of another faction that'll help your greed. Okay, it's up to you. So first thing I'm going to do is try to get Abomination, his second ultimate, triggered as soon as possible. And then it becomes permanent. And it's AoE damage. And you might ask, why is Abomination in front of the wall facing this way? Because he has a stun. When you get your Abomination to A1, he stuns. And that stun is what helps keep your wall intact. It's called CC, which is short for crowd control. The name of the game on this is to keep your wall alive. It doesn't matter how many mobs keep coming, as long as your wall stays up, you're going to be okay. So Greed there is throwing down right away as soon as possible. It auto targets and he does his butt slappers and his crotch sniffers. And you're very excited for the fact that he's that quick with it. I put Rat down. You notice how it says plus 20% speed. So that's his Lord bonus, triggering it with Abomination. You might be like, well, get your heal, get your heal, get your heal. No, Abomination is okay. I bring in Volca next. Now you see 35% speed for these four heroes. They're at max Lord bonus immediately. Now I'm going to put in my Dolores. As you see, Abomination is triggered heals. He is almost healing for 2,000 every time he does a hit because of Volca's passive. I have her max passive on her skills. So I've got, as fast as I can possibly get, my Lord bonus engaged. Then I got my Dolores there, who does a little bit of healing, but she's almost got her ultimate ready by the time these 6 mobs come around the corner. So I haven't wasted her. She's not just standing there waiting for work. Okay. As soon as her job is about to show up, boom, bring it on. Now I'm going to put in Laurel at the bottom. Actually, let me show you something different first. I'm going to put Laurel in at the top and hope that the invigoration set I have for her when I revoke her triggers to Abomination. So it missed A-Bomb. Let's see if it's on Greed. It missed Greed. So Dolores has an extra 10% attack. So she's going to share an extra 10% of her original attack with everybody. Mari's here now. Mari also places debuffs that can stack with Greed's debuffs. Okay, so I'll wait till we see a shield pop up as a debuff icon. And that's telling you that Greed is affecting all of those units, okay? When it comes down to just the boss, when the boss is left over, you'll see that there'll be 3 debuff icons simultaneously on the boss. And one's a smaller size shield, indicating that it's a 10% reduction to defense. And it stacks, because Mari and Greed, as I say, their abilities stack. So as soon as Laurel's available, which is 25% sooner because of the Voca Polka and her res timer reduction for her A1, her Awaken 1, I can stick Laurel in. Laurel's going to stay right there because when you use her ultimate, you'll see here that it restores 3% of rage to 2 random allies every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. So it's something, okay? You'd be like, well, isn't it worth more to take her off the map? Yes, but at the correct times. So you may have noticed I didn't freeze these mobs anywhere here on the corners while Murray is nearby because of where Abomination is placed here on the outside of the wall. He's already slowing them and blocking them, and Greed is slowing them, and Murray's slowing them. So I'll wait till they're all gathered. Now I'll freeze them. So you'll see this boss is more than likely going to cast his heal in the corner here by Wrath because they're the lowest HP percentage mobs. That's even better. That is one of the craziest misheals that you'll see in this game. That did absolutely nothing. And sometimes the RNG is that funny. You'll get so fortunate like that. So you might say, well, why did you use your Dolores ultimate already before anybody's hit? Because I wanted to cycle again by the time this pack, this is a nasty pack. There's going to be 10 of these AoE, whatever they are, the pustule guys with their leprosy or whatever. And they're going to hurt. They're going to hurt the wall. They're going to hurt the units surrounding Abomination. I want to make sure once they're around Mari, I'm going to freeze everybody in unison with my healer's ultimate. And you might be like, man, there's an Abomination in there. And how is he still alive? Like, so I've got him, you'll see, he's got about 50,000 HP, which is not too difficult to attain with an Abomination. He's got the highest HP pool for an attacker in the game. But you'll notice the heroes that are on this side can't be hit because they're behind the wall by any of this. So I don't need to put a healer over on this side, okay? And I've piled all of my platformers on one side, so I only need to bring one healer who's able to reach almost every unit. And if I really wanted, I could put Wrath down here, and everybody's covered. It's not necessary. So as soon as Murray's freeze is available, which usually times in with this boss doing the cast, I don't want them to be getting healed while they're attacking. I can't stop the heal, but I can stop their attacks. And you'll see now, Abomination, I didn't bring it up yet, but he's going to start having stuns. And you'll see these little white, like tornadoes, Valajurus, over the top of the heads of here. Okay? What's key is that your wall stays up. However, you can make your wall stay up so that there's only the boss left, means you win. This stage gets to being a race on that last wave only. The sooner you can kill the other waves, obviously, the more health your wall will have for this final battle. But this is not an easy stage, okay? I farmed a lot of GR3, and there's those icons I was telling you about coming up. See it? So you'll notice, like, some of these mobs are walking towards my wrath now, and you're like, man, you barely did it. You barely did it. And this is absolutely true. But this could be you in your future, so that you're aware of the debuffs going on. There's a 15% magic resistance debuff, and then a 20% damage taken debuff. Okay. I accidentally said that they stack. That's not what I meant. I apologize. There are debuffs that stack, and that's the burns. Okay. So Wrath has a burn, and so does Abomination. So burns are doing damage ticking, like a dot, damage over time. Boss is going tick, 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 even if no one was hitting the boss. Okay. So again, you saw I barely did this essentially, but because I planned for the wall coming down with a tankable hero, a tanky hero in the front as well. The butt slappers and the crotch sniffers got the last lick on the boss. He didn't like it and he dropped double the loot for us. And that could be you. If you're struggling because you don't have the overpowered mages, you don't have an anti-heal, but you have these free-to-play heroes, you've got an A1 Abomination, and you've been fortunate enough to have a Dolores, it can work for you. No problem. Free to play hero agreed. I'll show you their gear. If you don't want to see their gear, thank you very much for coming. I hope that I've shown you something to help you be successful on your own personal account, and perhaps you can develop with your ingenuity a specific strategy that works for you, and then share it with the rest of the community. So for those of you who do want to see, out of curiosity, here's the gear on the second most damage on the hero that was out in front. You can do that. You can do that. 2 purple rolls, one's in healing effect. Okay, it helps him, but it's not a big deal, obviously. Crit rate is not ideal. Even though it's an ancient item, it's stage 18 only. Okay? You notice there's a little bit of defensive bonus on there. Yeah? This again is an attainable item for you. Stage 16, I believe, or 17, you can start getting wisdom sets. And you'll notice this is all, there was like a total of 5 purple rolls in all of that gear. And again, now you'll see, anytime he killed somebody, Abomination, he was getting a total of 21% damage for 3 seconds. Extra AoE damage. Okay? So we come over to Volca, who did a little bit of damage. But you'll look, she's in an Invig set with a defensive bonus main stat. That is probably the most beautiful rolls you've ever seen in your life. So obviously that's the reason why we did this. Okay? There's nothing special, really, that's on this hero. You'll see her attack speed. There's nothing there. Here's her artifact. It was just to boost her base stat. That's the idea of that artifact. Now we're going to go down into the epics that we brought the major damage. Okay? I have a maxed version of this, but I brought this one instead. He takes 20% more damage, but he deals 25% more outgoing. He's in stage 18 farmable gear rate 3 items. Okay? With some pretty decent rolls, but they're not insane. And on purpose, I keep using this item without the main stat attack to try to keep these heroes' attack under 12k for stage 19. And if you're curious, you'll see that that's exactly what occurred. Now, Dolores and Wrath. Yes, Wrath is in stage 19 gear rate 3 items, but I did that order myself. I cleared gear rate 319, then gear rate 2. A month later, I finally just knuckled down and I figured a strategy out like this to take care of gear rate 19. And you might look here and you're like, yeah, those are strong items or whatever, but the biggest rolls, like some of the rage regen, that's not really too effective on Wrath. It'll help him achieve an ultimate for more AoE, but if you look here, it's a nothing artifact. So Vortex, pretty crappy. It'll do the job. All it's essentially doing is boosting his HP for his heals. Which, as you'll see here, you're like, oh, there's no main stat on there. It's got some speed. Okay? Some of these rolls are in the purples, but they're also on gear that you can get. Some of the rolls are blue. If you develop the right strategy in your war room before you go out to the field and battle, you will be successful. And this is a very substandard Dolores for endgame. 19 is an endgame, but it's your doorway into the field of the endgame area. Come correct. Be prepared to farm Gear Raid 2 and 3 before you come to Gear Raid 1. Be prepared to fail. Because you may fail. As you look here, this Laurel, she had nothing. She didn't even have an artifact on. So I hope that this has helped you. I hope that I'm bringing you content that you're able to share with others because they've asked you and now you don't even have to send them to a channel. You can just say, hey, here is a strategy that I used and it worked for me. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed the content. This is New Name, playing his favorite game, Watcher of Realms. Take care, everybody.